Trust A&P to get the job done. For quality craftsmanship and dependable service, visit apfabllp.com. That's apfabllp.com. A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros dropped last night's game with the San Francisco Giants 4-1 to split the series in the Bay. Hunter Brown had an up-and-down outing going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Game 3 and the rubber match will be today, and it'll be Brian King getting the start for Houston, while San Francisco has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 2:45 p.m., and you can listen to it on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Around the AL West, the New York Yankees defeated the Seattle Mariners 4-1. The Los Angeles Angels beat the Texas Rangers 3-2, and the Tampa Bay Rays crushed the Athletics 12-4. With the Rangers loss to the Angels, Houston still sits in first place by a half game. The New Orleans Saints announced yesterday that Drew Brees will be inducted into the Saints Ring of Honor. The ceremony will take place during halftime of the Saints game against the Minnesota Vikings on October 11th in the Superdome. The NBA released its 3 opening day matchups yesterday morning, with the new season set to tip off on October 20th. The Detroit Pistons will host the Boston Celtics in the first game of the season at 2 p.m. Then at 6 p.m., LeBron James makes his 76ers debut in the Big Apple against the New York Knicks. And then the night will wrap up at 8:30 with the Oklahoma City Thunder at the San Antonio Spurs. Former Raging Cajun golfer Milan Potgieter is currently tied for 9th after the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Amateur Championship in Pennsylvania. Potgieter sits at 3 under and will begin match play today with the rest of the top 64 in the field. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes. You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles. So we broadcast live from the Bill and Bear Studios in Upper Lafayette. Bill and Bear, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. If you want to get in on the ESPN hotline today, it's going to be a little tricky. You can do so in about 15 minutes. After that, we have lots of interviews. And so be a little tougher. This next segment in about 15 minutes would be the best time to get in on this grumpy edition of Footnotes. The good news is it's the last West Coast game until the late night West Coast game, because today's game is an afternoon game on a getaway day. And until the last week of the season, I've given the Astros credit all year for doing a great job of kicking the can. I mean, it's like no one else probably uses that term but me, and so it's not like it's going to be but this has been a kick in the can season. Like they haven't been very good at all for most of the season. They still don't have a major league outfield. They haven't been able to count to 3 all season, any of that stuff. And yet they've done a good job of kicking the can because they're still right there in a chance to make the playoffs. I mean, they're still right there with a chance to be the number 2 seed and get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, they could do it. They just got to – now, look, to be fair, they had a stretch recently where they won 12 out of 14. So – That's the whole point of kicking the can, that if you kick the can well enough, if you can get to a point where you can win 12 out of 14, well, then you can make hay. And they were down by a lot. They won 12 out of 14, and then for a while there, they were 2.5 games in first place because of that. But it was because they won 12 out of 14, but it was just as important to kick the can enough to where you weren't 12 games under 500 by the time you won 12 out of 14 kind of thing. So they're still kicking the can. They haven't gotten swept, but they haven't won a series seemingly in forever. So they really need to win today. And so what are they doing? They're pitching Brian King. I give up a home run lately every time I pitch. They're doing an opener. And Imai's going to pitch in middle relief, basically long relief, it sounds like. I mean, he's had 3 or 4 outings where he's pitched tremendous, and everything else has just been a disaster show. There's not been a lot of in-between with him. Either's really good or terrible, and mostly terrible.
Call that feast or famine.
And some, again, and I don't really like little pitchers. Now the Astros have had a few really good little pitchers. Obviously, there's exceptions to that kind of stuff. But I'm not a big fan of little pitchers unless they can really feel their position. And he's a little guy, and then he doesn't throw strikes. Like if you're 6'8" and you're throwing 102 miles an hour and you have control trouble, you don't like it, but you can live with it because you get 102 miles an hour. That's the he's a little guy who doesn't throw strikes. Oh, that's just disgusting. I mean, so anyway, they got to win today. And last night, far be it from me to take a fuck. The Astros' awful outfield. Because we've been talking about how it's a minor league, a AAA outfield all year long. They send Myers down. Far be it from me to feel bad and say good stuff about Myers because I haven't thought he was good hardly ever. They call up Nelson Velasquez. They pick him up off the street. The guy's never done anything. He's never done anything. So, if you're going to pick up someone off the street, like the Padres picked up Austin Hayes over the weekend off the street, hit a home run against the Astros on Sunday. Austin Hayes isn't a great player, but he's had a couple decent stretches in the major leagues. I mean, he's done something. I mean, if you're going to pick up someone off the street, pick up Jorge Soler. He got released. They pick up this guy off the street and they hit him right in the RBI spot in the middle of the lineup, and he's never done anything. It's not going to cost you a lot of money to pick someone off the street. At least pick up someone who's done something. Velasquez has never done anything. And I don't like him or hate him. He is what he is. He's a guy who, you're picking him off the street, at least pick up someone that has done something. So his first at-bat with the Astros, the bases are loaded. First inning. And I don't want to blame him on this, but bases are loaded first inning. He's got a 3-0 count. Ball 4 is out of the strike zone. You stupid umpire. Ball 4 with the bases loaded. The Astros should be up 1-0. And he doesn't challenge. So I can't be too hard on him on that because when you're having your first at bat with a new team, you're probably pretty uncomfortable. And in the first inning, if you challenge and get it wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to be put in that position.
It's kind of weird. And so while I was not happy at the time, on second thought, I'm going to be a little less critical of him in that. But why can't the umpire just get the call? Man, the umpiring, the home plate umpire, and the Astros won Monday, but the home plate umpire was terrible. And they weren't, he was missing pitches really bad. And both teams. And I think the Astros had the advantage on it. But he was missing pitches, really, and they weren't challenge that. The ball's not even close.
Well,
not even close. And they weren't challenging it.
We're getting closer and closer to fully automated umpires.
And so he works the count full and he grounds out to third. It wasn't the worst at bat in the world. He didn't swing at every pitch or any of that. He got to 3-0 and the guy threw a ball 4. Like, it's not on him. That's on the stupid umpire. But and then they don't score. And they did look like they were going to load the bases and not score again in the second, but they did get a sack. 2 games in a row, they got a sacrifice fly. And I don't know that they hardly got a base runner the rest of the game. Just a horrendous offensive performance. Hunter Brown, once again, I am not a Hunter Brown guy. I've told y'all that before. Hunter Brown is very frustrated. He was hitting the bull last night. Like, come on now. You're supposed ace pitcher. You're pitching in a pitcher's park against a AAA team that can't hit, with the exception of 2 or 3 good hitters. And, I mean, and you're hitting the bull over and over. Have some command. Like, it's time to show a little command. I mean, he looks horrible.
It's okay.
I mean, he's just throwing the ball all over the place. Like, what are you doing? He looks terrible. He has no command. None. I mean, look, it's the time for, he was hurt for the 2 months. That's over with. What is this, his 5th or 6th start since then? It's time to be a major league pitcher. Throw strikes. And don't have your balls hit the bull. Like, he was all over the place. He looked horrible last night. It was a horrible performance by Hunter Brown. Horrible. Giving up.
We give up 3 runs on 5 hits.
And his third one is a home run. He's throwing it right down the middle.
Oh, at least it wasn't a ball.
Just a horrible game last night. Just awful.
Well, thankfully for you, the Rangers lost to the little MVP, so you're still in the lead by half of a game.
And the flip side of it, the Mariners lost again, but I'm starting to get a little worried by that because the Mariners have lost 5 in a row, which is good on the surface, but the Astros play the Mariners this weekend. Like, if they go into that series having lost 7 in a row, and they've owned the Astros forever, they own the Mariners. But the last 2 years they haven't owned the Mariners. That role is switched. Like, the Piper got a little tired of the Astros owning the Mariners, and the Mariners have been beating the Astros a lot the last 2 years. And if they come to Houston on a 7-game losing streak, I don't like the chances of the Astros winning that series either. So they got to win today. Like, today is a really important game, and you're starting an opener who's been getting lit every outing for the last 3 weeks. That's where we are right now. And I don't even know who's starting for the Giants, but I hope he's right-handed because if Velasquez is starting again today.
Well, this morning, as of 6 o'clock this morning, they had not named their starter for today. I'm checking right now.
Yeah,
it's still TBD.
Yeah, I didn't know who was starting for them, but I hope he's right-handed. I mean, that guy last night, the starter, he was the lefty, and he was all over the place, and the Astros didn't come close. Didn't even come close to taking advantage. And what I don't get, like, Pena's on a 1 for 32 or whatever jag right now. We talk about analytics all the time. Does he not? Has he ever sat down or someone sat down with him and say, look, Cat, you've been striking out 3 and 4 times every night, and guess what? None of them are strikes. The first solution is stop swinging.
Yeah.
Like if you go like 20 strikeouts and 15 of them are sliders off the plate, at some point should it not register, you know what, that pitch that's going away, it's probably not a strike.
Or I just need to stop swinging at it and swing at other pitches.
It's probably not a strike. Don't worry about caught. I mean, why does any batter worry about getting called strike 3? I mean, that's a little league thing. We're in the major leagues now. Let's stop worrying about that, okay?
Baseball's a thinking man's game.
It's a ball, Cat. Don't swing.
It's a lot easier said than done, though. Especially when you're trying to hit yourself out of a slump.
But that's the thing. I don't think you hit yourself out of a slump. I think you walk yourself out of a slump. To where you walk until you get good pitches, and you're not going to hit a bunch of balls out the zone and get out of a slump.
I agree with you. But look, for a struggling guy, it's hard to, when that slider's been killing you, it's hard to not keep swinging at it.
And here's the other thing. He's a prime example of what I'm talking about, how stupid the mentality is. So-and-so's got an easy schedule. Because you don't even know that. Look, when you are not seeing the ball, like El Perro Grande and Pena, they both look horrible for the last 2 weeks. Just horrible. Okay? And so they're not seeing the ball at all. It doesn't matter if you're playing a team in first place or last place. If you're not seeing the ball, you're going to get out. And even if you're playing a last place team, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the last place team is easier to fix it than, the first place team. It is the thought process behind it. That it's easier to fix it against them.
I don't know. If you're playing a last place team, you're going to strike out just like you're playing a first place team if you ain't seeing the ball. And when you say so-and-so schedule's easy, well, you don't know where that guy's going to be 3 weeks from now. If Jeremy Pena is, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, he was crushing everything. Well, right now, he's like in a 1 for 32 because the ball's looking like about a green pea when it comes at him. And so what good does it do to be playing a last place team or a team next to last place? It doesn't do any good because it doesn't matter. If you're not hitting, you're going to get out whether you're playing a good team or a bad team.
Yeah, but you're facing a worse pitcher who's going to give you more opportunities to hit out of that.
How has that helped us?
I guess it's just an easier path to getting out of it than facing a really good pitcher on a really good team, is the thought process.
I don't buy that at all.
I know.
Did it help the Rangers last night playing a last place team? Did it help the Astros playing one of the worst teams in baseball?
I'm not saying it's a 100% guarantee it's going to help you, but that is the thought process.
I'm telling you, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't match up because baseball, it's just different. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season here, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley bring you these hurricane safety tips. Make sure to secure your home. Bring it in the outdoor items before the storm makes landfall. Have an emergency kit stocked with food, water, and medications. Know your evacuation routes. Listen to local authorities. Stay informed with a battery-powered radio, and make sure you have fresh batteries. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsand, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. bbsautosales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
Let's try something new, like not overloading your outlets. Up next, from Mr. Electric. You know that power strip and your extension cord? They are not a permanent lifestyle choice. You don't have to be afraid to get rid of them if they're damaged. And keep water far away from electricity. And if something sparks, buzzes, or smells like regret, call a professional. Because saving a few bucks is not worth turning your living room into a campfire. Home electrical safety. It's not shocking, unless you ignore it.
If you would like to learn more, visit MrElectric.com.
You're looking for not only a good electrician, but one you can trust. Here's Sean Dorey with Mr. Electric.
Yeah, I love what I do. I love serving our community. It's a pleasure, it really is. Our reviews speak for the passion that I have. You know, we want to do good business. We want to be someone that you can trust to come in to your home.
Call Mr. Electric today or see us on Facebook.
Looking for a spotless workplace? Variety Janitorial Services is your go-to. For office cleaning to stripping and floor waxing and carpet cleaning, your commercial space will look its best. Their reputation for perfection has grown throughout the entire Acadiana community. They deliver top-notch service with a commitment to excellence. Daily, weekly, or deep cleaning, trust the experts. Visit varietyjan.com today or call 337-298-8704 for a free quote. Variety Janitorial Services. We clean, you shine.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Again, if you would like to get in, now's the best time to do it on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111. All right, so it's probably best that today we have a lot of interviews, so I don't have to focus too much on the Astros. But before we move on, because we got a busy show with a lot of interviews today, including UL softball coach Allison Habits in the next segment. We tried to get Coach Paul from Generette yesterday, and it sounded like he had to go into a meeting he wasn't expecting, and so we're going to try again today, and then we're going to have our weekly conversation, or a quasi-weekly conversation with the new boss, Dawson Iserloh. So I've got some things to bring up to him. But before we move on, let us do our poll question of the day.
Yes, so it is. What is the Saints' best uniform combo? The black and gold, which for this one we chose the gold helmet with the black jersey and the black pants. I know they do the gold, black, gold, but we went with gold, black, black, and then the white and gold, which is the gold helmet, the white jersey, and then the gold pants. The color rush, which is the all white, so the white Saints helmet, the new one, or other. So that could be, you like it when they wear the gold helmet, the white jersey, and the black pants, or the gold helmet, black jersey, and then the gold pants. There's a lot of different uniform combos that they do that you don't really realize until you sit down and look at it.
Well, the black that they got real popular and they started wearing a lot with the leotards, I hate those. They're awful, okay? They're ugly and they're awful. Now, if my memory serves correctly, they won a lot of games in those uniforms. So I'm more, as much as I like uniforms, I'm more interested in winning. And so I was okay with them because it seemed like they won a lot with them. But they are putrid-looking, ugly uniforms. Their best-looking uniform is the throwback uniforms. And what was that, the 94 when Jim Everett was the quarterback. Like, you see some pictures of a young William Rofe with them on, and it's like the old mustard ones. Like, it's like the Billy Kilmer uniforms modernized. That is by far. So kind of the color rush thought process.
So wait, it's
I like the gold pants, the mustard pants with the white jersey and the mustard uniform and the mustard numerals.
So but you're saying the throwback ones that they wear.
I guess they've worn it since then. It's not really the color rush. If you could find what they wore early on, but then they brought them back. I think it was in '94, whenever the 50-year anniversary of the NFL or something like that. And a bunch of guys, Jim Everett was quarterbacking. Then. So
the ones I'm seeing right now, let's go. Okay, actually, I found this should be a pretty helpful link. It's from the New Orleans Saints, and it's the uniform history page. So you said 94?
I could be off a year or two, and it was sometime in the early to mid-'90s.
So in those, they have the kind of mustard pants, black jersey, gold helmet,
Well, I mean, yeah, they have a black and a white. I like the white version the best.
Where they have the stripes on the sleeve.
Yeah, oh, that's the best.
I do like those.
Oh, those are the best.
Okay, so what
Those are the
about
best.
for their current uniform combinations? What are you going to go towards?
I don't love any of them. I don't like, definitely not black on black. That's awful. I like white with the brown, with the tan or gold pants. That's what I like
whatever
the
it
best.
is.
Yes. I like the uniforms in the 80s that they had. But I really like the throwback. And I like when they weren't ashamed of the fleur-de-lis. At some point, as an organization, they said, we're kind of ashamed of the fleur-de-lis on our helmet, so we're going to make it so tiny no one can see it. I like. Now, you see a helmet every once in a while where the fleur-de-lis is too big, but, man, you'll see on Facebook like something from the 70s, and I'm just like, man, look at how good that helmet looks. I like the 70s, the mid-70s fleur helmet with the throwback. That's the best looking uniform.
I do appreciate the Saints' old fleur-de-lis logo, where it's bigger, but it looks a little thinner at the same time, and the wings of the fleur-de-lis or whatever you want to call them kind of go out a little bit further.
Yeah.
I think my personal favorite is the gold, white, gold, but I also the gold, black, gold. With the the home jerseys that they wear, with they pair the black jersey with the gold pants. I think that's their best home jersey, and I think the gold, white, gold is their best away jersey. Third place, I do really like the color rush of the all white. I don't know, the Saints logo looks great on a white helmet. I think it's fantastic.
I didn't mind it as much as I thought. I just texted you, not the uniform, but the helmet. Where the fleur-de-lis was not, they weren't ashamed of it.
Yeah, I do like that helmet.
Yeah.
I don't like, though, that when they wore that, the pants were a very different shade of gold than the helmets were. Obviously, he's wearing black pants in this one, but when they had the gold pants, that kind of like mustard yellow that you had said.
Yeah, I like that.
I like the pants. It's just a little too different from the helmet for me. It kind of bothers me. Messes with my OCD.
All right, so we're going to see the Saints in uniform at 3 o'clock, I believe, on Saturday. How are we watching this? Do we know yet?
I've not been told yet.
I mean, it's on.
Let's see.
KATC?
You were saying, like, where are we going to watch? Like, not where are we going to watch it? Where is it going to be broadcasted? Let's see.
If you live in Lafayette, Louisiana, where do you see the game?
I'm looking. It might take me a second. Just give me, it's saying Fox 8
okay.
on their website.
Fox, okay. Whatever. I mean, I just want to know. I don't care. I don't want to. Sometimes you take that stuff for granted, and then you searching, and then,
You have to go through 7 different subscription services to, just watch the game.
You don't want to do all that tomfoolery.
No, I trust
Which is a great word that's not used enough.
Tomfoolery.
It's one of the
hijinks,
best words.
That's a good one. I do love tomfoolery. Malfeasance, that's another good one. But anyway.
Oh, that's a good word.
Malfeasance is a good
shindig.
word.
I love shindig. Shindig and tomfoolery are two of the best words ever.
I agree with you there. I love those 2 words. But yeah, so it's saying Fox is where you can watch the game. Maybe on the ESPN app as well, but I don't know. Because you look at these things and then it'll say Fox, but then that's just the regional coverage in Jacksonville. And, it's not what you would watch it here. So I don't want to give a definite answer that you can watch it on Fox. But I think you can. How about that?
Okay. And we'll talk more the next 2 days about kind of what we're looking for. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a little kicker to kick the ball, but
between the uprights.
That's
not too much to ask.
Other than injuries. Injuries is always the most important thing. I'm not talking about injuries. Other than injuries, there's nothing more important than a kicker that can kick the ball through the uprights right now, because they don't have one. Like, they have got to find one. And if you can do it in preseason, like Opie did it in preseason great last year. He got in the regular season, couldn't make anything. So I don't even know what it's going to mean. But it will do my heart a lot better if one of these bozos can kick it through the uprights.
Yeah, I think it would do a lot of Saints fans' hearts good if they could kick it through the uprights. They did release their unofficial depth chart. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, it said "or," which means they have no idea.
Exactly. They have no idea who's going to be the kickoff guy, who's going to be the kicker. It's Charlie Smith and Tanner Brown.
They have got. I mean, they cannot. Charlie Smith cannot be the kicker. Like, that can't happen. He's missed too many kicks. That cannot happen. And so, if you don't choose the other guy, which I'm fine if you don't, then you got to go get someone quick. Yeah, like, if somebody misses a kick Saturday, he needs to be released.
Well,
Saturday.
I'm sure there's going to be
before they get back to the hotel.
There's going to be kickers on the market here after the first couple preseason games because guys are going to get cut.
If they miss a kick Saturday, release them. That we cannot play this game.
I agree with you. I mean, it's such a forgotten part of the game, but it is so essential.
Oh,
it is so essential.
On the spot. We'll take a timeout, shift gears. I need to be. Between the Astros and not having a kicker, it's going to just drive me totally to being a lunatic, and some say I already am, I know. But we'll take a timeout, shift gears to UL softball next. Stay tuned.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros dropped last night's game with the San Francisco Giants 4-1 to split the series in the Bay. Hunter Brown had an up-and-down outing going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Game 3 and the rubber match will be today, and it'll be Brian King getting the start for Houston, while San Francisco has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 2:45 p.m., and you can listen to it on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Around the AL West, the New York Yankees defeated the Seattle Mariners 4-1. The Los Angeles Angels beat the Texas Rangers 3-2, and the Tampa Bay Rays crushed the Athletics 12-4. With the Rangers loss to the Angels, Houston still sits in first place by a half game. The New Orleans Saints announced yesterday that Drew Brees will be inducted into the Saints Ring of Honor. The ceremony will take place during halftime of the Saints game against the Minnesota Vikings on October 11th in the Superdome. The NBA released its 3 opening day matchups yesterday morning, with the new season set to tip off on October 20th. The Detroit Pistons will host the Boston Celtics in the first game of the season at 2 p.m. Then at 6 p.m., LeBron James makes his 76ers debut in the Big Apple against the New York Knicks. And then the night will wrap up at 8:30 with the Oklahoma City Thunder at the San Antonio Spurs. Former Raging Cajun golfer Milan Potgieter is currently tied for 9th after the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Amateur Championship in Pennsylvania. Potgieter sits at 3 under and will begin match play today with the rest of the top 64 in the field. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of 4 Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserlo talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, there are national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm, LSB filing number LA2519684.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
Looking for a great deal on golf this summer? Head to Farm Alley Golf Course for the Sizzlin' Summer Special. Every Tuesday through Thursday, tee off anytime between noon and 3:30 and enjoy 18 holes of championship golf, including a cart for just $55. That's unbeatable summer golf at an unbeatable price. Gather your friends, sharpen your game, and make the most of your afternoons at Farm Alley Golf Course. Book your tee time today and take advantage of the Sizzlin' Summer Special, only at Farm Alley.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Time to shift gears, get caught up a little bit after a pretty busy summer for UL softball with head coach Allison Habits. How are you, Coach?
I'm great and getting better, Kevin. How are you?
Well, I stayed up till close to midnight last night and the Astros lost. So when you're old and fat like me and you stay up late and they win, you can get through it. When they lose, it's tough.
Man, you got loser hangover today, huh? That's tough.
Yeah. At least there's an afternoon game, so I don't have to stay up late again if they lose. So
that's good.
All right, so you had a little, speaking of California, you had a little focus in California in this offseason. Two of the additions were from California.
Yeah, sure were. We're giving. Now I've lost her name here. Lily. We're giving Lily Knox some company, so
yes.
She can have people to go back and forth with home with.
That is true. All right, so we'll start there since I didn't intend to, but since we're there, Angelina Condi is sounds like she's a third baseman, but I guess you never really know how that position stuff's going to play out. And then the last one to be added was a pitcher, Candace Puig. So tell us about those two young ladies.
Yeah, Angelina Condi, obviously from Texas Tech, didn't get a whole lot of playing time due to third base was her position. But talked to a lot of people about her, and she can hit. So, yeah, we're hoping that, she can come in and play a little third base. But obviously, putting crooked numbers on the board would be nice too. But she's going to be a great addition and a great young lady. Engineering major and very bright. And just looking forward to having her and her family, just really good people. And then the last one is actually going to be a true freshman. She was injured early on, like during the recruiting process last year, but really came on strong. She had some tendonitis, but has recovered, really came on strong this summer and was pitching really well. And Coach Kyle saw her out in Colorado and really liked her. She's from Whittier, California. And, they're Dodger fans, so there's some relation to Puig, I think, down the road. So has some good genes.
All right, so I want to go back to the third baseman. So, old school baseball mentality is your third baseman's a slugger and a big guy and a hot corner and all that stuff. But, one of my favorite, if not my favorite third baseman in UL history was Natalie Fernandez, who was kind of a middle infielder who kind of a quicker version of playing third with hands and all that. Does it matter to you? And what do you think about her from a defensive standpoint with her body size at third base?
Yeah, I mean, that's always the question mark because, the more I'm around this game, Kevin, the more, it used to be you need to be, baseball mentality, you need to be strong up the middle. But, man, third base is tough because you got the bunt, you got the slap, you got the hard shots. You have to have a good third baseman. So, yeah, I think there's going to be some competition because we have a few freshmen coming in. Ali Rios can play third. Liscano can play third. So, ideally, to be honest, Kevin, I would like for Brooke to be in the outfield because I think she's a really good outfielder. And, but again, there's going to be a lot of competition at a lot of places this year.
All right. And it's in terms of Candace, I mean, I guess you could answer this question a lot more in the fall. Is there a thought process that she could be part of it this year, or would she play a role more like last year's true freshman?
It depends because you never know about freshmen. There's always an adjustment, and every freshman handles it differently. What she does have going for her, she has some velo. I think she can get up to about 65. So, I think that's going to be beneficial. And, when we watched her, she threw a lot of strikes. So, and she pitched. Like she wasn't just a thrower, she was a pitcher. So she kind of understands the whole pitching game and, how to nibble and then how to come back in the strike zone. So, I mean, I'm hoping that she can give us some innings for sure.
Again, we're speaking with UL softball coach Allison Habits. All right, you mentioned the idea of moving your third baseman to the outfield, which I am totally in support of, and I know you probably didn't feel like you had that option last year, but I was kind of hoping that would happen last year. Also, you recruited a catcher from Florida State, which, by the way, I love her name, Danica Spinagati. What a great name. And so I love great names. That's a great name. Yes. And so does that mean we're moving the catcher to the outfield too, potentially?
That's the goal, Kevin. That's the goal. Because, again, I think, more so I called her before the season started. I said, hey, do I need to get a catcher because, I need to know, or can you catch? Because Marceau's an athlete, she can play anywhere. She said, no, Coach, I can do it, and she did. And I think she did a great job for being an athlete and not necessarily someone who's caught her whole life. But, in order to keep her legs fresh and I think get the best out of her, I think her best position, too, is in the outfield. And I put her in the outfield a couple times, and I'm like, dang, without even practicing, she can play the outfield. She can run balls down, and she has an arm. She has all the things. So she can play anywhere in the infield or outfield, but I do believe outfield is her best position. And, we'll have two catchers now with the freshman coming in, Zoe, who's actually from Maurice, who has a really, really strong arm, Zoe Harrington, and she's going to be good. And then Danica, yes, Spinagati, what a great name. What she brings is she's a big lefty too. She hits left-handed, but she's good behind the plate. So, yeah, hopefully that's the hope is that we have catchers who can just catch, and then hopefully more so can keep her legs fresh and hit a lot and be in the outfield.
All right. Before we get to Danica, if Conde works out at third or whoever Liscano that. If that works out, then fine, no issues. How much of an option would it be if that doesn't work out where Kennedy could play third base?
Yes, I've thought about that too. I think Kennedy can play anywhere. I just think she's more comfortable and free in the outfield. I think third base is just, it's a lot because you're constantly ready, you're constantly in it. Obviously catching is too, so she's used to that. But she hadn't played third in a while. We'll see. I mean, like I say, we're going to have a lot of competition at every spot, really.
All right. How concerned are you? I know Danica's coming off where she missed a year with injury. Where is she in the injury? And how close to, where you feel pretty good that she's going to be healthy and ready to go?
Well, she went back to the doctor a week ago, and he released her. So I feel really good about it. She's been doing a lot of rehab. Her dad sends me pictures of her in the weight room and doing all the things. So I think she's going to be, obviously a catcher is a little bit different because, you're going up and down, with the legs and on the knee and all that. So, but I definitely think she's a tough kid. I think she's ready to get out there after sitting out a year, and she's excited. So I'm looking forward. I think she'll be ready to go in the fall.
All right. You also added KG Favors and, KG and Danica. These are young ladies who played a high level of travel ball and just fabulous high school careers. Is that what it is, or what sold you on KG and signing her?
Well, KG's from Orange Beach, Alabama, so I knew her when I coached at Alabama. She would come to all of our camps, and she was a phenom. I mean, she was young. I mean, she was the number one player in the country on extra innings softball. I mean, she was all the things and just an athlete. And then started to pitch. Again, she brings velo. I mean, she could probably get it up 69 or 70. She can throw it hard, and she can hit. She didn't hit at South Carolina, but I remember watching her, and she can hit. I mean, she's three-time state champion and three-time MVP. So she's got a lot of tools. It's just, you go to an SEC school again, and oftentimes if you're not the number one or two, you don't get a lot of playing time, and you kind of get in a lull. So, but I'm looking forward to having KG because I know her family, and I think she's going to add a lot to our pitching staff.
All right, so when you talk about I'm trying to envision in my little mind what the offense is going to look like. I feel pretty good about where you are defensively. I feel pretty good at where you are in the lineup. It's still a lot of unknown in the circle. So what is your, now that I guess you could always add someone, but I mean, with the summer kind of over in the off season, basically over now, what is your mindset about the pitching?
Well, it is. You're right. It's always a question mark. I mean, Sage obviously did a lot of great things. I think she comes in with the most experience, the most confidence probably. I'm really looking forward to seeing Bailey this fall. She's been working all summer. Got her velo up again. I think it's a comfort thing when you're a freshman to be able to throw strikes and consistently. So, Bailey moves it, and she has a good screwball, and then she can go that changeup. So her potential is tremendous. So if she does what she's capable of, she can be a strong contender to put up a lot of innings. Obviously, KG, I think she's with the velo and stuff. I think we're gonna need that. She can go down and up. And then, the two freshmen are unknowns because you never know. But Emily Adams is also from Alabama. She's also a true freshman. And she's going to bring more of spinny stuff, like the curveball, changeup. Again, she was a 5A player of the year 2 years in a row. Can throw strikes and more of a pitcher, can locate. So I think, and with Candace, I think they're all going to add something different to the table. So it's going to be pitched by committee, I think, a lot. But I think as we do that, we're going to learn more and more about what their strengths are.
In terms of just operating in this brave new world or whatever crazy new world that college athletics is, including softball, was the summer in your mind a sign of progress? Like, how would you assess that? In terms of how you were able to recruit and all of that.
I'm very pleased with what we have. I mean, we got 3 kids off the portal, with KG, Angie, and Danica. And then, we have a lot of freshmen coming in. We have 7 freshmen. So it's a lot of new faces. But as far as recruiting for the next classes, there's a lot of good talent out there. So we're on the road and, doing that. But the portal recruiting obviously was challenging at times. But at the end of the day, I'm really pleased with who we have and really excited about seeing everyone come together. We have 10 returners and 10 newbies, so it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. All right, well, we just wanted to catch up with you, Coach, and kind of get a recap of how the summer went with softball, and it's going to go on the back burner for a little while we get through football season, but obviously there are a lot of true blue softball fans that go back decades that can't wait for the spring, so we appreciate it, your time.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, we're gonna have some fall games too, so we'll have just a little taste of softball throughout football season, so it'll be good.
Absolutely. All right. Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right. Take care.
Right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I get it. Like, if you're like Bobby, who's just softball all the time, it's softball, and if you're Coach Habits or any of the players, obviously it's that way too. But I don't know. Whether it's baseball or softball, football's kind of all-encompassing for me in the fall. But I get it. No, I feel really good about where they are offensively and defensively even. I do. Still don't know about the pitching, and I guess we won't know that for, till like March or so. Maybe March we'll have a little better idea about that. We'll see. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Here at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station. We know you can't get enough sports in your life, so go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Turn that bell on so you can get notifications when we post our new content, like right now, all kinds of Drew Brees Pro Football Hall of Fame content, as well as Foot's Friday Fury. And now you can stream all our local shows on our YouTube channel, so go and subscribe to ESPN Southwest Louisiana's channel on YouTube.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Around Acadiana, community means supporting the businesses that make our hometown special. That's why we're proud to spotlight local companies that are certified South Louisiana.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
August 15th is the date for the 12th annual Fête du Teche boat procession down the Bayou Teche. The day begins with Mass en Francais with Bishop Desautels at 8 a.m. at St. Leo's Church in Leonville. The boats then depart for a Eucharistic boat procession ending in St. Martinville. Register your boat today or find out more information at fêtedudetech.org or by liking their Facebook page. Don't miss the 12th annual Fête du Teche, Saturday, August 15th.
Acadiana area businesses. Is it time to make an impact? Time for more traffic, more engagement, time for more customers? Then it's time to make a splash with Bass. Bass is now offering digital marketing, indoor and outdoor digital signage, billboards, and video production to help you reach more customers and close more business. For over 30 years, Bass has helped our customers tell their story. Bass Companies. Remember, a business without a sign is a sign of no business. Advertise with Bass. Find us around Acadiana or at bassltd.com.
And now time for the Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
Ever wonder why bugs seem to love your home as much as you do? One big reason: moisture. Roaches, termites, and ants are drawn to damp areas. Check under sinks, around windows, and in attics for leaks and excess moisture. A little home maintenance goes a long way in keeping pests out. Got unwanted guests? Call Sugarland Exterminating at 337-367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com for more information.
Sugarland Exterminating. Pest-free environment we're creating. Spiders, roaches, rats, and mice. Those awful termites are not so nice. Get rid of all your pests right now. Call Sugarland Exterminating.
Termites, they're here. They're invasive. They can destroy your home if left untreated. Sugarland Exterminating has been in business for over 50 years, and they have the experience to effectively treat termites. Call 367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com.
And that has been your Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station, and your home for the LSU Tigers.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Well, appreciate Coach Habits coming on just to kind of get a recap and or her, kind of feelings of what went on. Like I said, I still think they got a little bit more work to do in the circle, but we'll see how that plays out. But appreciate Coach Habits coming on. Hopefully, even better would be if one of the freshmen emerge as one of the main pitchers. That's kind of the way it's supposed to work. The old way of doing it, but the new way of doing it, it's going to buy one. And you recruit with a suitcase and you go get one from someone else. I don't know. Technically they did that with Favors. We'll see how that plays out. All right. We haven't talked about this. I think I have made a few passing comments about it, but it's a really weird situation. Paul Skeens got pulled early again last night. He only threw like 65 pitches, and his velocity is down. His velocity's been down for a while now. In his first 9 starts this season, Paul Skeens had a 1.98 ERA. In his last 16 starts, his ERA is 5. Think about that. In his not last 2 starts, not his last 4 starts, in his last 16 starts, his ERA is 5. And his velocity is down. Now, you know, I don't begin to know what is going on. Could it be a little bit of an injury? I don't know. I mean, maybe, but it seemed like as valuable as he is, if they really thought he was injured, they would shut him down unless he really just talked him out of it. I've heard the World Baseball Classic, and we've talked about the World Baseball Classic. It's kind of a weird deal with me because I'm a fan. You know me, I hate the Olympics, and I don't get into World Cup and all that kind of stuff. The only international event that I care anything about is the World Baseball Classic because I actually know a lot of the players. Like, I follow Major League Baseball year and I know some of the players, so it's hard for me to get all fired up about stuff. I don't even know any of the people. But anyway, a lot of players who participate, especially pitchers, in the World Baseball Classic, don't have as good a years as you. It messes with them somehow. I'm sure I don't have all the list in front of me. I'm sure it's not everyone. It's certainly not everyone. But that is, I wouldn't totally dismiss that as some of what's going on here. The ramp-up process for a pitcher is very important. And the whole ramp-up process when you're participating in the World Baseball Classic is just different. It's different. And it changes things. And athletes are creatures of habit, and some obviously don't adjust well. And so you could say, oh, that's just an excuse. And I guess for some that could be. Maybe for others, there's more of a legitimate reason behind it. I don't even know if that's it. I've just heard that argument, and I'm willing to listen. But whether you buy that or not, a pitcher who's, obviously still very young, who is as talented as Skeens is and has been as good as Skeens is, to have an ERA of 5 over a 16-start stretch is pretty unusual. Every once in a while you might get lit. Like you might have a game where you give up, not often, but like 9 or 10 runs, and that will skew your ERA. But that is, he's had some games where he gave up a lot of runs, but his ERA is not 5 because he had 1 or 2 games. He is consistently pitching worse than what people thought. And so, like Rudy said, he ain't no kin of mine. He plays for the Pirates. But it is weird. It's strange. I don't know what the answer is. It's funny that the Pirates got better as a team and Skeens got worse. You never know. 1 hour down, another hour to go. Stay tuned.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
When strength matters, go to apfabllp.com. Precision built to last, from heavy-duty aluminum structural welding using TIG, MIG, and stick to custom metal fabrication designed exactly for your project. Need safety inspections, weld analysis, or 24-hour metal repairs? Trust A&P to get the job done. For quality craftsmanship and dependable service, visit apfabllp.com. That's apfabllp.com. A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
You thinking trailers? Think Tibbs. Whether you tug it, tow it, or transport it, Tibbs Trailers is your headquarters for enclosed, flatbed, and hydraulic trailers. You won't find a better selection or a better price than right here. We've got the experts to repair or customize your trailer so it'll be ready for whatever you pull it through. Why would you go anywhere else when you can go to Tibbs Trailers? Now we're talking trailers.
Between Scott and Doosan.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros dropped last night's game with the San Francisco Giants 4-1 to split the series in the Bay. Hunter Brown had an up-and-down outing going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Game 3 and the rubber match will be today, and it'll be Brian King getting the start for Houston, while San Francisco has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 2:45 p.m., and you can listen to it on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Around the AL West, the New York Yankees defeated the Seattle Mariners 4-1. The Los Angeles Angels beat the Texas Rangers 3-2, and the Tampa Bay Rays crushed the Athletics 12-4. With the Rangers loss to the Angels, Houston still sits in first place by a half game. The New Orleans Saints announced yesterday that Drew Brees will be inducted into the Saints Ring of Honor. The ceremony will take place during halftime of the Saints game against the Minnesota Vikings on October 11th in the Superdome. The NBA released its 3 opening day matchups yesterday morning, with the new season set to tip off on October 20th. The Detroit Pistons will host the Boston Celtics in the first game of the season at 2 p.m. Then at 6 p.m., LeBron James makes his 76ers debut in the Big Apple against the New York Knicks. And then the night will wrap up at 8:30 with the Oklahoma City Thunder at the San Antonio Spurs. Former Raging Cajun golfer Milan Potgieter is currently tied for 9th after the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Amateur Championship in Pennsylvania. Potgieter sits at 3 under and will begin match play today with the rest of the top 64 in the field. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles on this kind of a grouchy Wednesday. Astros lost last night. It's the middle of the week. We're gonna actually have football that at least some of us, or a pretty good number of us, care about. I guess a few people watched. I doubt very many really focused on the Hall of Fame game. What was that, a week ago tomorrow? But, you know, at least it was football, I guess some would say. But this is like the Saints play this weekend. And so, like, there's something finally to kind of look forward to. We understand there's going to be, like, the Cajuns and LSU. They're going to have scrimmages, but that's kind of closed, and we'll get reports. But we all know that, how fool's goalie camp reports are, whether it's the Cajuns or the Tigers or the Saints or Cowboys, whoever. I mean, it's still just camp. It's still just practice. But we're actually going to see a game. It's a preseason game. We understand that. But it's actually a game. And so we're looking forward to that. It's a better sign that we're getting actually closer to some anything that resembles meaningful football. And so we kind of look forward to that. You take it with a grain of salt. We say the same thing every summer. And, it's preseason, and we'll talk more about what we're looking for. But you already know my number one concern. Got to find a kicker. Got to get a kicker. And if somebody misses it, you got to go. We got to get somebody who can make it. This is not hard. It's not hard. Got to make kicks. All right. Let us head to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
I heard you talking jerseys. Let me ask you this. Bagwell, I think he wins the Rookie of the Year, I think 91, right? The next year, I think, didn't they get Doug Dre back that year or the year after? Well, anyway, they changed jerseys. Did you like the Astros jersey when they switched jerseys?
When they went to the blue, they went to the blue and gold instead of orange. They kind of took orange out of it. No, I didn't think the uniforms in and of themselves looked that bad, but I'm like, orange has always been their color, so I was against that move of taking orange out of the color.
Okay, so you was against it.
Yeah, I was against it.
Didn't they add black? Like, did they have a jersey silver and black while I'm tripping? With gold?
Maybe a weird thing. I think it was blue and gold, and I was dark blue, so it might have looked black some. But and I'm sure they've worn some of these batting practice jerseys that teams wear sometime, and maybe one of them was black. But I don't think the official color scheme was ever black. No.
Hey, as a child, man, and it's still to this day, it still throws me off. The Chicago Bears. When I was a child, I thought that was a black helmet. They have like a blue-black, like a dark navy blue.
Yes.
You can see it as an adult.
Yeah, I always thought it looked black too.
Black look.
Yes, I agree.
Especially when Walter Payton played with him.
Yes.
And he just looked so elusive. But, hey, I agree with you. And that was the 75th anniversary, by the way, not the 50th.
Oh, okay, yeah.
1994.
Yeah.
Those jerseys, I love
awesome
that Saints jersey.
Yes.
Matter of fact, look, and I'm glad Matt said it, man. Man, Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver of all time. But look,
Don Hudson.
The 49ers jerseys that year were also nice. A lot of people hate them, but the Niners throwback jerseys that year were nice. And this is a guy
that shadow number junk? Talking about the shadow numbers?
The white jersey with the red numbers on top, almost like a 3D look.
I did not
like
that.
Man, I love that look, man. I don't.
And by the way,
Hey,
Don
Don
Hudson is.
I'm glad the league honored some of those teams of yesteryear. But there was some beautiful jerseys that year, man. Beautiful helmets.
Yes.
And that was the 75th anniversary. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. 75 makes more sense. But Don Hudson's the best wide receiver of all time. In fact, I saw a thing over the weekend, and it had Don Hudson as a top 10 player of all time. Forget about wide receiver. Had him as a top 10 player of all time. Far be it from me to praise an Alabama product, but no, Don Hudson's the greatest receiver.
That's just not
of all
true.
time. Yeah, it's true.
That's just not true.
Greatest receiver of all time, Don Hudson. Look it up.
I don't have to.
Oh,
already.
The difference between him and the rest of the league, it wasn't even close. It's the old Babe Ruth argument.
It's Jerry Rice, and it's not close.
Don Hudson's the best wide receiver
It's Jerry
of
Rice,
all
and
time.
it's not close.
Y'all just believe in the hype just because you've been told that all these years, but it's Don Hudson. All right. So, is there an update on how people are voting on the uniforms?
Combination-wise, 41% are saying that the best uniform combo is the color rush.
Yeah.
35% have said the white gold combo, white jersey, gold pants.
I like that.
The 17% have said black and gold, which is interesting because
I'm okay with. I mean, it's just like the home jerseys. Yeah.
Yeah. About 6% have said other.
And a lot of it has to do with where you play. Like the Saints over the years at times when they go play at Arizona, for whatever reason, they've worn dark. Their dark jerseys look good, and it depends on where you play. Like, I can remember them playing and use in Arizona, and to me it looks good. But, you know, some of it has to do with where you play, how good the jersey looks. Some, I don't know, just the atmosphere or the light in the stadium or whatever just strikes and makes a uniform look better one way or the other. All right, let us head back out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Kevin?
How are you, sir?
Oh, hanging in there, man. Hopefully the Astros could win the day so we could win the series. I don't know.
Yes. Need to win a series.
Right. Kevin, the uniforms, the Saints could do me a big favor. Please, don't even wear it no more. Get rid of the black uniform. Y'all have a go.
All right. I'm with you there. I think their black on black was awful. But, I mean, they got to where they wore those all the time in the Casper Breeze era. And, again, if someone asked me, I would say, you know, they're awful.
You're crazy.
They're just awful.
It's the best one.
No, they're awful, but I mean they won. They won in them, and they won a lot of big games in them. So I'm okay. I'm more worried about winning than what they look like.
That's what makes it the best uniform.
Yeah, but it's in terms of just a fashion report, just horrendous. Like, you're in the NFL now, put a stripe on your pants. Like, to wear leotard, it looks like a high school uniform. Or we got a high school kicker, and for 3 or 4 years we had a high school punter, so might as well wear a high school uniform.
Underrated one. Look, best one's the black on black when it comes to actual performance-wise. When you're looking at fashionista design, I'd say black and gold is the best looking, but they always play bad in that combination. It's weird. But an underrated one is white jersey, black pants. That's an underrated combination that they do.
They did that a lot in the 70s. Like the uniform that I sent with my favorite all-time Saints player, the picture I sent earlier, I didn't send it for the uniform. I sent it for the helmet. And I didn't love those, but, you know, I'm okay with them. I'm okay with them.
Like, I go back to, was it the Thanksgiving game against Dallas that they wore them when they had the late comeback? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
when they were in Dallas.
No, I remember
and Breeze
the strip
hits
fumble
more.
and all. Yeah, I remember the game. I'm trying to remember what the uniform.
I believe it was white jersey, black pants.
That could be. Because although the Cowboys normally wear white at home, were they wearing? Because if it's Thanksgiving, they were wearing those blue star jerseys. Maybe
I believe so. I'm about to look this up. I'm about to look their shawls up.
Yeah, I certainly remember the game. It was great. It looked like they were going to lose, and then they forced the fumble to Roy Williams. I remember the game, but I'm not remembering exactly what the uniform looked like. Anyway, James and I, we just disagree. We've been disagreeing a lot lately. Like, it's
Look,
getting
it
out of
happens.
hand.
You're wrong a lot.
Yeah. And the black jerseys are just awful.
Well, Kat, like I said,
but I understand your rationale. They win in them, and that's the most important.
That's the most important part. And I think it looks fine. Like, I think with other colors, if you do like green on green or whatever, like if you did like the Kelly green on Kelly green for the Eagles, I'm like, or like the Cardinals when they have the red on red, I'm like, But like with the Saints with the black on black, I'm like, I don't mind it. I think it looks fine.
But do we really believe that the uniform impacts how you play?
Not necessarily. I just think I think it's just a funny correlation that so often, especially in the early to mid 2010s when the Saints were winning, and even like the late 2000s, obviously with the Super Bowl,
I think
they wore the black on black so often, and it was especially during like Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, and of course in those big time games, the Saints were unstoppable. So I don't think there was a real correlation. I just found it funny that so often that was the combination that they went with in these primetime games when Drew would break these records, and it would just so happen to be in the black on black.
I do think that if you make a big deal out of it, there have been different teams at different levels where you come out at halftime in a different uniform and you get all fired up, or you wear this specialty uniform and you get all fired up. So I've seen it to where maybe it could impact the way you play, but I don't really think that.
Yeah,
the NFL
2010 Week 12 Saints Cowboys in Jerry's World. They were wearing for Thanksgiving. They were wearing white jerseys, black pants, and the Cowboys were wearing the jersey that's blue with the white on top, white helmet, dark blue star, and then the
specialty jersey.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's always a great victory. That was one of the most underrated things of the Drew Brees speech. The comment that they made about extra celebrations when they beat the Cowboys. You got to love that. Casper pettiness, no question. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The annual Fête du Teche Broke Procession will be floating down the Bayou Teche on Saturday. Thousands of people come every year to celebrate their faith and South Louisiana heritage. The day begins with a mass by Bishop J. Douglas Desatel at St. Leo's Catholic Church in Leonville before dozens of boats depart along the Bayou Teche in St. Martinville, retracing the voyage of the Acadians over 250 years ago. There will be many stops along the way for people to pray, give public witness to their faith. For more information, visit feddudeteche.org.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
Go check out our YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA for the latest episodes of Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh and Ford Tire Change with Dawson Isolo and much more. That's ESPN, Southwest Louisiana's sports station on YouTube.
Welcome back to Footnotes. It is time, our weekly visit from the new boss, Mr. Dawson Iserloh. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Kevin. How are you?
How was these last 2 weeks have been a little interesting for you.
Yeah, they have. I'm trying to catch up on sleep. That's my goal for this week. And then, ironically enough, I'm leaving again on Thursday night. So, today my goal, especially Astros day game, my goal is going to be to sleep a lot tonight.
That's a good goal. Hopefully you can sleep peacefully. Of course, I don't know if the Astros winning and losing impacts your sleep as much as it
Not
maybe
as much
does
as
me.
for you, yeah.
But it's it would help. All right, so there's something that you would say this is a little thing, but this potentially could change things. First of all, we spoke yesterday, and I you know me, I'm not about individual awards. I'm about the team, and a lot of people are kind of starting to talk about Pedro Grande and this whole Triple Crown thing, and I really appreciated him. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, he's like, I'm not talking about this anymore. Like, it's too early to talk about it. And right now, in the last 2 weeks, he's done absolutely nothing except for strike out and pop up. He's trying to become the new second Isak Paredes. All he does is strike out and pop up lately. It's just driving me crazy. But one of the things that I don't like about El Pedro Grande's approach this year, and I don't know if you've noticed this, he kind of took Chris Sale's approach. I don't think he never challenges a pitch, ever. And it's fine. Like, I get it if you're a pitcher. Like, when it first started, Chris Sale, like, I'm not doing that. That's not my job. I'm not doing it. I'm leaving that up to other people. And that's fine if you're a pitcher. But if you're a hitter, like, whether you challenge or not could decide whether you win a game or not. Like, the Astros have won some games this year because they challenged and won. And if they get down the stretch or if they get fortunate enough to get in the playoffs, if the pitch is a ball, he has got to challenge it.
Yeah, I will say I don't mind the hitters who have taken the approach of like only doing it on an action pitch, right? Like if it's strike 3 or ball 4, that's when they challenge it. And so I'd be fine with that. But yeah, especially for him because his at-bats matter more than he's got if he gets one overturned, he has a better chance to turn it into something than anyone else in the lineup. So ironically, like he should have the most power to challenge, Like if Nick Allen challenges, he ain't going to get a hit anyway, so why even challenge? I'm kidding, kind of. But I agree. He should be.
He's got to challenge. And again, I don't know if the team has talked to him about it. And I'm not against it in theory. But again, he's a guy that if he would ever just stop swinging, they would walk. They want to walk him. And so they're going to throw a lot of balls to him. And if it's 3-0 and whatever, or 3-1 and they're throwing balls, he's got to challenge that.
On a ball 4, I agree with that. But I don't mind his approach of being more aggressive. The guy's, he's taken a lot of bad pitches and turned them into doubles and homers this year. So I'm not going to critique the approach of a guy who's, as we said, at least on pace of doing something that hasn't been done in 65 years.
All right. Give me one bit of logic behind, other than just pure desperation for this whole Velasquez.
No, I texted you last night, Kevin. I don't get it. I don't get what they saw in this guy. I hope he proves me wrong and hits a couple homers today, but they actually sent Jake Myers down. Look, Jake hasn't had a good season. We're not like desperate for Jake Myers at bats, but at least Jake Myers is a good defender. He can run the bases. You can use him in some different ways. This guy, Velasquez, if he doesn't hit, he's slow. He doesn't seem like he's a great defender unless the metrics tell me something else. I don't think he's a good defender. This one didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I didn't enjoy watching him play last night, not going to lie.
If you're going to do a desperation move, like Austin Hayes has had stretches where he was pretty good. The Padres picked him off the street over the weekend, and he had a home run. Jorge Soler beat you in the World Series not that long ago. I know he's not a great player, but he at least has done something in the major leagues.
Yeah, I didn't get it. And even, we agreed, like, when they had the kid Spence up, he just wasn't a big leaguer, right? He wasn't ready for that. But I don't see it there. Maybe he'll prove us wrong today. But
it's unbelievable. All right. Well, getting to the Saints. There was some people, and again, I know sometimes I overrate what people are saying in social media, and you can only go so far down that road. But I during the offseason, not so much recently, but during the offseason, I saw a lot of trade Spencer Rattler. Could Spencer Rattler be a trade piece? Well, first of all, no is my opinion. And I like the idea of having multiple quarterbacks who have been in the system, who you have confidence in, where there's some, you're not just pulling some guy off the street and he's never been in the offense. I feel good about not just the starter because of what he did down the stretch last year, but the quarterback room as a whole. Don't you?
Yeah, because they've got this guy named Zach Wilson.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Zach Wilson part of this. Because Spencer's going to beat him out. I mean, just because he knows.
Well, but, so, yeah, I do think it's kind of silly, like this idea that Spencer Rattler had a few good practices and all of a sudden everybody in the league's going to want him. And, I know Underhill was pushing this, like somebody's going to make a call on him. Are there that many teams that are that desperate to go grab a guy who they've seen do mediocre things at best in the NFL, and he had a few good camp practices, and all of a sudden you're going to give up like a third or a fourth round pick for him? I just don't see that happening. The idea of how many teams trade for someone's backup quarterback in training camp? That doesn't happen all the time. And so it's just like he has a few good practices, and now everybody's like, well, why have they not gotten something for him? I'm like, I don't think teams really trade for backup quarterbacks very often.
At least backup quarterback. I mean, he has no special skills. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback because I thought he wasn't a playmaker, but he did okay last year when he played. They just weren't good enough around him to elevate those into one-score wins as opposed to one-score losses. And he had a couple bad games. His game in Chicago was bad. He had a couple bad games. But he doesn't have any special skills. He's not this elite runner or this great passer or, what I'm saying? There's nothing unique about it.
Right, and that's my point here, right? Okay, if somebody's going to call you and give you a second-round pick for him, well, sure, take it. But, that's not going to happen. And this idea that if you get, if you could, some people say, well, if you get a fourth or fifth rounder for him, if you could draft your backup quarterback in the fourth or the fifth round, you'd do it. So that's not that crazy value. I just don't understand what people think this crazy value that we're missing out on could be, because he's a backup quarterback who's unproven at best, is a guy who's getting some good buzz at practice. This is the most overblown story to me. I don't
want to trade him.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I like having a backup quarterback that I at least feel like could go in and finish a game responsibly.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, everybody, if you have I don't know. Other than wanting, and this is a completely separate situation, but other than maybe if the front office, if Spencer in the front office had some conversations, hey, if I get an opportunity elsewhere, I'd really like to see that out, then maybe they do him a solid, and that's the situation, because he's still a young enough player where maybe you go, hey, we had some conversations with him. We know it was tough that Chuck came in, and we'll do right by him by trading him somewhere. Other than that, yeah, as far as just the value of does it make the Saints better? No, I have a hard time imagining you're going to get some Godfather offer for your backup inexperienced quarterback that's played 10 NFL games.
I agree. All right, so besides the kicker situation, which you probably aren't as crazy about as I am, but I am just, I'm thinking ahead here. I cannot, after everything we've been through the last 3 or 4 years, and the beef coming in, and having looks like what looks like 2 good drafts and all this if they blow games because they can't make a kick indoors, I will lose my mind. It will be an ugly scene. So other than that, what are you looking forward to Saturday?
Zach Wilson. I do want to see how Zach Wilson looks.
Man, he's just in love with this guy.
I'm kidding.
I mean, he literally has Zach Wilson under rules. All right.
I'm kidding. No, I want to see what the running back situation looks like. I don't know how much the main guys are going to play, right? But Estime's getting some more buzz, right? They say he's in the number 3 spot right now. So what does that look like? Does the ghost of Kendre Miller, is he ever coming back? That'd be awesome to know if he's, got 2 legs still and all that stuff. So I want to see the backs and the pass catchers, because that's the fun stuff, right? I'd love to sit there and tell you I'm going to be looking at who the 7th and 8th offensive linemen will be, but it's just not as fun to watch those guys try to play. But by the way, this Dylan Radins thing, again, they've got to figure out who you need seven starting caliber linemen, right? I think everybody kind of understands that. You just know there's going to be a couple guys that get hurt throughout the season. And so the Saints might have had seven. Maybe they did. They probably don't need more because Radens was definitely one of those guys. If he wasn't the first five, he was number 6. And so they've got some time left. We said that like when the Brazil injury happened. All right, it's better to happen the first day of camp than the last day of camp, but they've got to get some offensive linemen in this building, and maybe they're already the ones that are on the roster, but they got to get some guys who can do it in a pinch because the idea that Fuaga and Cesar Ruiz and Eric McCoy are all going to play 17 games this season, that's pretty unlikely to me. So we got to figure out who number 6 and number 7 are now that Radens is gone.
I thought Dalen Radens was bad last season.
I didn't think he was great, but I think he's an NFL lineman who knows what he's doing, and the Saints have gotten now. Part of it was because of this like crazy injury rash, but they've had guys out there that didn't know what they were doing, and so I would like it if they had guys who do know what they're doing.
How much is Tyree Wilson going to play, Zach?
That's another one that's going to be fun. I think Tyree Wilson. The thing that's maybe changed my perspective on it, and it's probably not a great way to look at it because I'm sure he was the same way in the media elsewhere. I just didn't watch him, but I was impressed with his interviews. Like I thought he sounded like a guy who understands the opportunity he has right here. And so you and I both know we've done this with the Cajuns. Sometimes a guy can be great in an interview and you start to feel like, oh, well, maybe that's it. And then you go, well, they don't ask you any questions on the field. They just tell you to go make plays.
Right.
But if he can be something for you, that's big. So that is another one to circle for sure.
Vernon Broughton.
That'd be awesome. And he's so much more important than he was 2 weeks ago, right? Because of that. I mean, really. Like he really is.
But I thought he was pretty important anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you. Of course, I've been, Debbie Downer on the cornerback situation all season or all off season. But honestly, like a preseason game, I'm not sure I'm going to change my opinion on that anyway, because my main concern is like top receivers, and you're not going to be facing top receivers where they're trying to scheme guys open against you because it's preseason. So I'll be looking, but I don't think I'm going to learn anything about the backfield.
It's still going to be fun, though. See him run out on the field and see what happens.
I mean, that's why we play the games, right?
Absolutely. Oh, please give me a win today. I just.
Did the Giants ever announce who they were going to pitch?
Not that I've heard.
So they throw this TBA cat out a lot. It's still TBD. Cat. Oh, there it is. It just updated. They're pitching Adrian Hauser, who's fine. I mean, he's a veteran pitcher. The Astros are starting Brian King.
Right. I don't even want to go there. I mean, basically, it's up to how Imai pitches and if they can get any hits. So
they're doing opener. That's just okay. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
I just got to hope we're just due to win. I mean, I just hope. All right. Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
We'll take a timeout and be back. Stay tuned.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros dropped last night's game with the San Francisco Giants 4-1 to split the series in the Bay. Hunter Brown had an up-and-down outing going 5 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Game 3 and the rubber match will be today, and it'll be Brian King getting the start for Houston, while San Francisco has yet to name their starter. First pitch is at 2:45 p.m., and you can listen to it on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Around the AL West, the New York Yankees defeated the Seattle Mariners 4-1. The Los Angeles Angels beat the Texas Rangers 3-2, and the Tampa Bay Rays crushed the Athletics 12-4. With the Rangers loss to the Angels, Houston still sits in first place by a half game. The New Orleans Saints announced yesterday that Drew Brees will be inducted into the Saints Ring of Honor. The ceremony will take place during halftime of the Saints game against the Minnesota Vikings on October 11th in the Superdome. The NBA released its 3 opening day matchups yesterday morning, with the new season set to tip off on October 20th. The Detroit Pistons will host the Boston Celtics in the first game of the season at 2 p.m. Then at 6 p.m., LeBron James makes his 76ers debut in the Big Apple against the New York Knicks. And then the night will wrap up at 8:30 with the Oklahoma City Thunder at the San Antonio Spurs. Former Raging Cajun golfer Milan Potgieter is currently tied for 9th after the first 2 rounds of the U.S. Amateur Championship in Pennsylvania. Potgieter sits at 3 under and will begin match play today with the rest of the top 64 in the field. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of Fort Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserloh talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, there are national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSB filing number LA2519684.
Looking for a great deal on golf this summer? Head to Farm Alley Golf Course for the Sizzlin' Summer Special. Every Tuesday through Thursday, tee off anytime between noon and 3:30 and enjoy 18 holes of championship golf, including a cart for just $55. That's unbeatable summer golf at an unbeatable price. Gather your friends, sharpen your game, and make the most of your afternoons at Farm Alley Golf Course. Book your tee time today and take advantage of the Sizzlin' Summer Special, only at Farm Alley.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Time to shift gears to high school football. We're talking to, as I said yesterday, when you talk about, all right, who do we think might make it to the state finals from the area this year? One of the schools that you hear a lot mentioned is the Jeanerette Tigers, and we have with us Coach C.C. Paul from the Jeanerette Tigers. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing good this morning.
Last year, your team kind of surprised some people. You crushed Grand Lake after a bye. You crushed Logansport, and you lost to one of the powerhouse teams in the history of our programs, in the history of our state, the number 1 seed and eventual state champion Haynesville in the semifinals. But that's just one step short of the finals. So y'all got something brewing in Jeanerette right now.
Yeah, we're trying to change the culture in Jeanerette. I think that's the biggest thing that my staff and I, when we got together, was to change the culture and bring a winning atmosphere back to Jeanerette. And I think we on track right now.
All right, so let's go back. Like, you played there. You're from Jeanerette, right?
Yes, I'm a 1989 graduate from Jeanerette High School.
1989. All right, so I'm getting old, but I've been around for a while, and so tell me, you'll know the year. It was like 1990, 1991. Was it like the year after you left, or the year or 2 years? Jeanerette had the best team in the state. I covered several of their games that year. You had this crazy bad weather quarterfinal loss to Buras on the road where you turned it over like 7 or 8 times. But and that team barely won. I really believe that y'all had the best year of the state. What year was that?
That was 1991. That was it, 1991.
And a tremendous team, and again, should have won the state championship, but you just had one of those nightmare turnover games in bad weather. But I say all that to say it's not like Jeanerette hasn't had good teams in the past, and you played on some.
Yes, it did. I don't know, over the years, it kind of, with the addition to new schools in the areas and parents leaving for job purposes, the talent level kind of decreased over the years, and it got to that point where people kind of overlooked Jeanerette for a long time.
All right, so tell me about you don't have a talent shortage anymore, and so tell us about how did this kind of materialize over the last few years where you have guys that are getting recruited and thought really highly of, and where you're the more talented team in a lot of games that y'all play now?
Well, when the staff and I got together, we found a group of kids that was determined to be successful, regardless if they went to college or whatever, but that's their mentality, and it grew over the years. And we got better and better. They put a lot of time in, and a lot of the skilled guys played on a 7-on-7 team to work on their skills as receivers and defensive backs. And a lot of my linemen, we kind of did powerlifting to get stronger, and we put the combination together, and it's the result.
Again, we're talking with Jeanerette High head football coach C.C. Paul. So tell us about a few of the guys. A lot of people like recruiting game, the college recruiting game, and you've got some guys that are getting a lot of attention. Tell us about some of those and how it's working out for them in the recruiting wars.
Well, I'll start off with my big left tackle, Blair Lewis. He's 6'7", 330 left tackle, Southmore. Had a tremendous summer on the camp tour, and he got offers from USC, at LSU, and a couple other schools. But he's the featured guy for our team. I also have Devin Duhon. He played running back, slot for us. Had a little bad season last year. Got injured early, but he came back strong this off season, and he's going to be a factor. I have a couple other guys being locally recruited. Dustin Smith, he's another 28 kid. Running back, Colby Gage, Nasir Jackson. Those guys are being recruited. Those are the guys that's the bell cows for the team. They the one carrying the team. They the motivators, the hard workers, the guys that lead by example.
Last couple of years, y'all were in what I call more of a Houma district, and I hate when the local teams kind of playing out. But you're more in kind of an Acadiana area district, so it's kind of a transition year. Do you like this setup, or what are your thoughts going into this season? Not just football, but starting with football.
Well, it's going to be kind of new to some of the kids, but I mean, we was in the district once before with Vermilion Catholic, and Ascension. So when we was in AA, so they kind of got a feel of the programs. It's easy on travel for us.
Right.
Traveling to Homer Christian, especially for basketball, to cover the Christian for basketball and baseball, that's some long nights. So it's more convenient for us since we locally established right now with travel for the spring sports and the basketball.
Absolutely. All right. So when you went through and got a taste of playoff success, what did y'all do last year really well? And what are some areas that you feel like y'all can improve even more to maybe make that last step to the finals?
Well, I think each year we built off the mistakes we made at the end of the year. And the progress that we made, the kids took ownership of the mistakes that they made. And each year we worked harder and harder to get a step further.
When as I said at the very beginning, y'all lost to Haynesville, which, a lot of people down here don't talk about Haynesville. But Haynesville, when you talk about the history of their programs, right up there with, John Curtis. I mean, it's one of the elite programs, most successful programs in the history of the state. And they were a number one seed, and there's no embarrassment losing to Haynesville. But what did y'all learn from that game in terms, to get to that level? What did you and your staff and even your players learn from that game to try to get to that level and one more step further?
Well, we learned that you don't underestimate people. That was the first thing, and our kids understood that. But when you go to a town like Haynesville, which it is football 100% of the time, and you got a crowd where the stadium is packed and the fans are real tradition. You have to understand that these people, it's a habit for them, and we trying to make it a habit for us to go there and start winning, and that's the biggest thing that we come from. After we played Haynesville 2 years ago, and then we played them again in the semis last year, and for those 2 years, getting acclimated to being in 26-degree weather, playing this late in the season, those type of things with kids that never been experienced in situations like that, it takes a toll. But I think this senior group we have now has experienced both times the Haynesville experience. And I think the third time, hopefully, is the charm.
Again, we're speaking with Jeanerette High head football coach C.C. Paul. So, Coach, as you're in camp now, obviously you want to stay healthy. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
But what is the area of the game that you feel like y'all got to make the most improvement between now and the season opener to be the kind of team that y'all want to be?
I think with us losing our 3 senior linebackers, I think that area, position-wise, is going to be key. The team chemistry was a concern at the beginning, but that took care of itself. So I think for us to be a dominant defense like we've been in the past, I think our linebackers gonna have to make that step to being that type of person.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we wanted to recognize all the, y'all been getting a lot of attention in the recruiting game, and I know there's some really high hopes for this season after making the state semifinals last year. Thank you for your time, and good luck to y'all.
And thank you for having me.
All right. Appreciate Coach Paul being on. No, again, Jeanerette for years, they kind of went away. And like he said, kind of got overshadowed. It's tough when, maybe your enrollment goes down and your town kind of, is not as population isn't what it used to be and all of that. But they have done just a remarkable job. And it's such a good thing to see a guy like Coach Paul who's from there, who played there, and they see that things are down and they come back and they revive it. And now they don't just have a viable program, they have one of the most successful programs right now in our area. So congratulations to them. It's just great to see a small-town public school in this era of all the recruiting and everything going on and seeing them do well. So kind of cool. We'll see if they can get back to the semis and maybe even go further. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Want to take ESPN Southwest Louisiana Sports Station with you wherever you go? Well, then download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app powered by Moss Motors today. It's your one-stop shop for all things ESPN, 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. You can download the free mobile app by simply searching ESPN 103.7 Lafayette. That way, no matter where you are, you can listen to Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Are your pipes giving you problems? Is that leaky faucet driving you crazy? Don't wait for a plumbing disaster. Call the experts at Ace Plumbing, your trusted local plumbers for over 30 years. At Ace Plumbing, we do it all. Clogged drains, water heater repairs, pipe replacements, and more. With decades of experience, we deliver fast, reliable, and affordable solutions for your home or business.
Ace Plumbing fixed my burst pipe in no time, and the price was great. They're the only plumbers I trust.
From small leaks to big emergencies, Ace Plumbing is just one call away. We're available 24/7 because plumbing problems don't wait. Call Ace Plumbing today at 337-565-2519 or visit us online at aceplumbinginc.com. That's 337-565-2519.
Ace Plumbing, your personal plumber. Let us give you a hand.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. The Punks, a Major League Baseball team that, according to Kevin, acts like a bunch of loudmouth punks, also known as the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Appreciate Coach Paul come on. We tried yesterday, had a little bit of an obstacle there, but we got him on today, and that was good. Just planning on talking to Rain High head football coach Daniel Loteef tomorrow. So we've got some I want to keep talking about high school football as we get closer to the season. We're starting to sniff the middle of August already, so it's starting to get there. Again, August is it's always been a real kind of a strange, frustrating month. It's busy because I'm still very involved in the coverage of high school football, and so, I've gone to a handful of picture days, but I don't go to as many as I used to, but still organizing all of that and getting previews out every day at the Advocate and previewing a different team every day and that kind of stuff. So still heavily involved. So it's real busy from a high school coverage as well as, Cajuns and, all of that, August camp. And so there's it's a busy month, but from the fan side of me, again, it's just I struggle with the anticipation gets to me. It's like, yeah, football season's here, but it's really not here. It's really not here. And I already struggle with, having to wait a week or two sometime for the football game. And so, to lose a game and looking awful as the Astros looked last night, if that was a football team, you'd have to wait at least a week and sometimes more if it's on a bye week before that team can play again. That's just a lot of waiting and just that's a lot of sitting on. What a miserable performance. And it's one of the many reasons why I like baseball the most, because you actually play games. But no, we'll see how that plays, and we'll talk more. We talked a little bit about it with Dawson, what we're looking forward to with the Saints, and a lot of times we focus on how different I am, and my thought process is I don't think there's too many Saints fans who think like Dawson. They can't. Their biggest anticipation is to see the third string quarterback play on Saturday. I'm just glad. You remember last year at this time, I was angry about this, the stupidity of having to watch Jake Hayner play. And why is that guy getting any snaps? I still don't. I mean, he got way too many snaps, and watched him in the preseason and stop. I mean, that was a waste of time. But anyway, at least we don't have to worry about that. At least things are kind of structured. Your first string is. Technically there's a battle for the backup quarterback, but I would be pretty shocked, as we were talking about earlier in the hour when Dawson was in, that Spencer is not going to win that job, and unless there's just an unbelievable amount of he comes out in preseason game and Dawson's hero throws 3 touchdown passes in every preseason game or something. I just think I would be shocked if he won the job. And and the injuries could also play into it as well, obviously. But even then, having great preseason games certainly helps. But I think we've seen many examples over the years where guys who play great in the preseason, that it doesn't translate into the regular season. That's where you just have to trust the coaches, I guess. By the way, we talked about it yesterday and it kept several times in the last few weeks about how the NFC South's gotten a lot of big injuries, where some of those injuries are starting to spread into other divisions. Did you see yesterday? The Bears, I mentioned yesterday that they lost one of their big playmakers, safeties last year, ex-Titan who went to the Bears. He's not there by art. Well, they signed, what's his name? Is Kobe Parker? They signed a safety from Tennessee. I don't know why I'm missing his name right now. Anyway, he was going to be the replacement to go with Dylan Tinneman, who a lot of us were high on out of the draft at safety. Well, he got injured yesterday. He's out 4 to 6 months. And I already had concerns about the Bears being able to follow up on a season where they won a lot of big games at the end, and their defense didn't play as good as it looked like they played. It just got covered up by forcing a lot of turnovers. And so now you lost your big play safety from last year. The guy you replaced him with is now out probably for the season. They're saying 4 to 6 months. And so, I don't know. I'm a little closer to doing what most people are not doing, and that's picking the Vikings to win that division. I'm not trusting the Bears or the Lions. We will see. Have a good day.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net.
Whether it's a tempting text message or a quick glance at your GPS, taking your eyes off the road for just a moment can have serious consequences. This includes turning around